This evening, further construction at Durban Park is cancelled. President Granger explains why. Venezuela condemns Guyana's oil exploration efforts. Could a party drug cure severe depression? Some doctors say yes. Public servants to take advantage of upcoming government housing expo. In the region, in Venezuela, the opposition-led Congress has begun publishing the nation's inflation rate. Maduro remains noticeably silent. And internationally, more controversy from the Trump White House as another former advisor is accused of collusion with Russia.
From Safe TV headquarters in South Rival Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Headline News is now being streamed live on our YouTube channel, as well as our website, safetvguyana.com. Join us. Venezuela's Energy and Petroleum Commission has rejected the oil explorations in Guyana's Essequibo region. According to a report in El Nacional, a Venezuelan newspaper, the Energy and Petroleum Commission of its National Assembly said that it is convinced that the ongoing oil exploration violates the Geneva Agreement of 1966 and Article 10 of the Bolivarian Constitution of Venezuela, which says, quote, which it clearly establishes the Venezuelan territory, end quote. Andrew Weeks reports.
Venezuela has been claiming Guyana's territory for several decades, although the issue was settled since 1899. According to the report, Vice President of the parliamentary body, Deputy Zulia Elias Mata, tabled the draft agreement explaining that, as stipulated in Article 5 of the Geneva Agreement, no resource can be exploited if there is no agreement between both nations. Deputy Mata said Ghana government carried out expansions of oil prospecting operations in May 2015, in which ExxonMobil reported a discovery at the Liza 1 well on the Stabroek block. Likewise, on November 17, 2016, commercialization of the same was announced, estimating its recovery resources between 800 million and 1.4 billion barrels of high-quality crude oil belonging to the coastal waters of the Essequibo, the report noted. The Commission wants the Venezuelan government to send this agreement to the UN Good Officers for the Ghana-Venezuela conflict. The Venezuelan Parliamentary Commission also wants the UN Good Officer to immediately suspend all operations carried out within the maritime area corresponding to the territory in claim until the dispute is resolved. But according to local officials familiar with the process, the UN Good Officer has no such powers. Venezuela has consistently been raising its voice about the border controversy since the announcement of the oil discovery in Ghana's territorial waters. 2 years ago, Venezuela's President Maduro had issued a decree claiming Ghana's territorial waters where the oil exploration was taking place, but that decree was eventually recalled. President David Granger has said that the Ghana-Venezuela border row was settled back in 1899, and a judicial settlement might now be needed to settle it once and for all. The Ghana government is yet to respond to this new development from Venezuela. Headline News made every effort to contact Minister of Foreign Affairs Carl Greenidge for answers, but his phone rang out. Andrew Weeks, Channel 2, Headline News.
Thanks, Andrew. Parking meters have become the subject of protests for a 7th week in a row. For a 7th week in a row, citizens left their jobs for 1 hour to protest the city's implementation of parking meters. It is understood that the movement against parking meters encouraged business owners to close shop for 1 hour to allow their employees to protest the contract. The protest was quieter than in previous weeks. Absent are the music men and the theatrics that people have come to expect from the demonstrators. Despite the lack of theatrics, there was no shortage of creativity or passion. One such impassionate person was Sean Lincoln. Most of the people in attendance are calling for the mayor and city council to end the contract, while he is calling for them to end their tenure.
But the right of some corrupt, them need to die in there. They got to put somebody else in there. Them is some corruption. From the do me, them is corruption, do me long. I don't care. But they can't break my spirit neither. Because what I'm telling you, I can tell it to them in their own face.
He meets clients primarily at his business on Wellington Street. Since the introduction of parking meters, he has seen a great dip in sales due to their reluctance to pay and supposed harassment from parking meter attendants. Even though a crowd of several hundred people had gathered today, it was again noticeably smaller than the first protest. Despite the reduction in size, many of those in attendance were emboldened by a recent declaration from Cabinet in support of a suspension of the contract. Nonetheless, attendees vow to continue to protest until the deal is completely revoked. The upcoming world-class arena at Durban Park has been put on hold as government abandons plans for its completion. Andrew Weeks reports that President David Granger made the announcement at his most recent public interest show. Here's that story.
The Durban Park state-of-the-art world-class arena that is aimed to seat 30,000 persons, twice the capacity of the Ghana National Stadium at Providence, is no more. President David Granger says no further development will be done to the facility. He explains more.
Durban Park is the largest stadium in the country. It has been placed under the Ministry of Education alongside the Providence Stadium and the Leonora Stadium. And we would like to see it used. It is being used for mass activities such as Mashramani, rallies, the children's education rally, religious rallies take place there, military parades take place there. So we are getting accustomed to it, but it is not meant to surpass the National Stadium or the Leonora Stadium in terms of its beauty or its facilities.
Public relations consultant Alex Graham, in a PowerPoint presentation on the project, disclosed plans to designate part of the arena for sporting activities, including lawn tennis, go-kart racing, basketball, jogging, and walking tracks, along with other family-oriented facilities. The article stated that the complex was to be designated in 3 sections: the promenade, stadium, and a health and recreational park. The promenade would have consisted of 9 ponds, each for former president of Ghana, while the health and recreational park would have had played facilities for children. Controversies that surrounded the Durban Parks project when it was revealed to the public that the Education Minister, Dr. Rupert Rupnarine, sits as a director of a secret company which was established to collect funds from private companies to develop the Durban Park. This information was initially omitted by Public Infrastructure Minister David Patterson when he was being drilled by opposition members of Parliament in the National Assembly last year.
There are no immediate plans. It's under the Ministry of Education, particularly the department responsible for culture, youth and sport, and there are no plans in the short term to make it into a state-of-the-art facility. It is functional as a place where the population could have mass events. And I expect that, I hope that maybe in the Diwali or Holi, more people will be able to go there and intermingle and have a good time.
Now that the government is saying goodbye to further development, is this the end of the controversy that has forced government to call it quits? We'll keep you posted. Andrew Weeks, Channel 2, Headline News.
Don't go anywhere. Coming up on Headline News after the break. Public servants to take advantage of upcoming government housing expo. And can a party drug cure depression? Find out more.
Sometimes there's just too much information to keep up with when you're pregnant. What you should and should not eat, what kind of exercise is right for you, how to handle mood changes, even how to determine when it's time for delivery.
Don't let your pregnancy be a burden. Watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2 every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now you can know all you need to know from conception to delivery when you watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2.
It's always fresh, tasty, enticing, and the best in town, served hot from our experienced chefs. Come and enjoy our daily meals with a wide and delicious menu to choose from. Also a wide variety of pastries and dessert. We can also host your luncheons, cocktails, parties and formal gathering. For reservation, call 225-1730, 225-0038 and delivery 225-0195 or 225-0159. The new thriving Chinese restaurant, 32 Main Street, Georgetown.
Yes, let's get it on. Total U Plus is introducing the bridal collection. We sell bridal gowns with over 150 styles to choose from, including bridal gowns for Muslim brides. We also sell bride and bridesmaid gloves, tiaras, petals, flower girl baskets, bridal pins, just married signs for vehicles, guest books and pens, aisle runners, veils, table placement holders, garters. Yes, the complete collection. Come see our bridal display in store. Total U Plus Bridal Collection, Froggity's Mall, booth number 16. Let's get it on.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
It's next level time, Guyana. Let's get ready for Love and Sunshine Destination Wedding Conference and Expo coming on April 1st and 2nd, 2017 to Guyana, South America. Come enjoy the company of Joy Agnes, Destination Wedding Specialist, Mark Jennings, TV host and lifestyle expert, Jacqueline Johnson, Destination Wedding Expert, Jerry Gavaya, CEO, Roraima Group, Angie Zimmerman, Floral Expert, and Richard Markel, founder of AFWPI. Registration US $100 before March 15, thereafter US $150. Learn from the industry experts, see floral demonstrations, network at the cocktail, and benefit from educational sessions on wedding planning. Contact us for sponsorship at info@joyagnesevents.com. Love and Sunshine Destination Wedding Conference and Expo, a must for all wedding professionals. See you there.
Seems like people will try just about anything to lose weight these days. But nothing works better than proper dieting and exercise. So if you're guilty of eating the wrong foods, not finding time to exercise, or can't afford a gym, join Safe TV Channel 2 for Body and Spirit. Aerobics workout with Dick Nunez.
Hello, I'm Dick Nunez. Welcome to Body and Spirit Aerobics.
Weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Don't hesitate. Act now, because your greatest wealth is your health.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you have a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
Once a feared club drug, ketamine may be a cure for depression. Experimental use of the drug by doctors in the United States have yielded positive results thus far. Here's more. There are a number of different existing ways to treat depression, but the most common way is currently cognitive behavioral therapy in conjunction with outpatient drug therapy. But in the doctor's office, ketamine is combined with a saline solution and administered intravenously through the arm. The dosage is usually determined by the patient's body weight.
We know as an anesthetic, it's considered to be one of the safest. In fact, there's been hundreds of thousands, millions of people that have been treated. However, in those cases, it's usually only a single dose given one time. Here, it's a little different for depression because we're giving it repeatedly over and over and over.
In small doses, ketamine is known to give the user a temporary sense of euphoria, but it is hoped that small regular doses of the drug would positively influence brain chemistry in a way that reduces the onset of a depressive episode. Psychiatrist Stephen Levine explained to reporters from Vice News how exactly ketamine influences brain chemistry.
So most of the focus has been on its effects on what's called the glutamate system. Ketamine can produce these proteins that repair connections, help form new ones, reroute around areas of damage. It's a process called synaptic plasticity. So that's one thing that ketamine does, and that's part, perhaps, of how it treats depression.
Patients suffering from chronic depression are in extreme emotional pain. Ketamine proves that there is a great and eminent need for light to be shed on issues of mental health for years to come. Given Guyana's high suicide rate and its connection to depression, would such a treatment be helpful in Guyana? Talk with us. Join the conversation on our Facebook page at SafeTV2 Headline News. 768 families are expected to be housed in the first phase of the implementation of government's new housing program. Andrew Weeks reports that members of the Guyana Police Force are among those targeted to benefit.
In a release from the Government Information Agency, GINA stated that the minister within the Ministry of Communities with responsibility for housing, Valerie Adams-Patterson, and a team from the Central Housing and Planning Authority on Wednesday engaged police ranks stationed in Region 4 on the government's housing solution for state employees. The team met at the GPF's training center at Camp and Young Streets, Ivlere. The minister's team comprised CH&PA Operations Director Denise Tudor-King and Acting Project Director Omar Narain.
We have come to you today to share the vision of government, the new vision of this government, and to let you know that we are working on your behalf and we are working to ensure that each of you own your own home.
The minister said government will be maximizing the use of its available service lands to offer a range of housing solutions that will cater to their needs and those of other low, moderate, and middle-income persons.
Our focus right now is to build duplexes and townhouses. So if in the past, by issuing one house lot to a person, and you have 3 house lots, you can only build 3 houses for 3 families. If we're doing duplexes and townhouses, we can now accommodate a larger amount of families.
The ranks also heard from Omar Narain that 265 buildings will be constructed and that these will be divided into 768 units, each housing a family. Narain went on to explain that each duplex will house 2 families and each townhouses 6 families.
Townhouses, the dimensions that we have in mind at the moment is 22 by 26, and for the duplex, the dimensions are 20 by 40. Both options, we have 2 bedrooms.
Don't touch that dial. Still ahead, we have our regional and international news.
Sometimes there's just too much information to keep up with when you're pregnant. What you should and should not eat, what kind of exercise is right for you, how to handle mood changes, even how to determine when it's time for delivery.
Don't let your pregnancy be a burden. Watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2 every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now you can know all you need to know from conception to delivery when you watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
It's next level time, Guyana. Let's get ready for Love and Sunshine Destination Wedding Conference and Expo coming on April 1st and 2nd, 2017 to Guyana, South America. Come enjoy the company of Joy Agnes, Destination Wedding Specialist, Mark Jennings, TV host and lifestyle expert, Jacqueline Johnson, Destination Wedding Expert, Jerry Gavaya, CEO, Roraima Group, Angie Zimmerman, Floral Expert, and Richard Markel, founder of AFWPI. Registration US $100 before March 15, thereafter US $150. Learn from the industry experts, see floral demonstrations, network at the cocktail, and benefit from educational sessions on wedding planning. Contact us for sponsorship at info@joyagnesevents.com. Love and Sunshine Destination Wedding Conference and Expo, a must for all wedding professionals. See you there.
Seems like people will try just about anything to lose weight these days. But nothing works better than proper dieting and exercise. So if you're guilty of eating the wrong foods, not finding time to exercise, or can't afford a gym, join Safe TV Channel 2 for Body and Spirit. Aerobics workout with Dick Nunez.
Hello, I'm Dick Nunez. Welcome to Body and Spirit Aerobics.
Weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Don't hesitate. Act now, because your greatest wealth is your health.
It's always fresh, tasty, enticing, and the best in town. Served hot from our experienced chefs. Come and enjoy our daily meals with a wide and delicious menu to choose from. Also a wide variety of pastries and dessert. We can also host your luncheons, cocktails, parties, and formal gathering. For reservation, call 225-1730, 225-0038, and delivery 225-0195 or 225-0159. The new thriving Chinese restaurant, 32 Main Street, Georgetown.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you have a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
In news from the region now, in Venezuela, Venezuela's opposition-led Congress has started publishing the country's inflation rate based on its own data collection, as the government of President Nicolas Maduro remains silent about the crisis-stricken nation's soaring consumer prices. Sylvia Antolioni reports.
Knowledge is power, for some. Venezuela's opposition shares this view and has started to release key inflation numbers that the central bank stopped providing last year. They suggest inflation has risen by a staggering 741% in the 12 months to February. This, as President Nicolas Maduro remained silent about galloping consumer prices.
What we are doing is covering for the gap left by the Venezuelan central bank for not publishing statistics, which means workers don't know how much their salary is worth. Business leaders don't know what their costs in fact are. The real interest rate can't be tabulated.
Venezuela's economy has been in free fall since the 2014 collapse in oil prices, which left the socialist country unable to maintain its subsidies and price controls. As supermarket lines swell and shortages worsen, many wonder if there is a way out of this downward spiral.
unless you see almost a complete capitulation on the old Chavez socialist project by the incumbent government, I just don't see how there's any immediate prospect of stabilization. We don't see that kind of political capitulation yet, so I suspect that Venezuela will edge ever closer to the economic abyss.
On a more positive note, a World Bank's tribunal's order for Venezuela to pay $1.4 billion in damages to ExxonMobil over nationalizations has been revoked, a meager consolation for an economy near the edge of precipice.
And internationally, retired Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, Donald Trump's former national security advisor, was paid more than $33,750 by Russia's state-run broadcaster RT-TV Russia. This for a speech in Moscow in December of 2015, according to a top Democrat on the House Oversight Committee. CNN reports.
This comes from the ranking Democrat on the House Oversight Committee, Elijah Cummings. We're told that retired Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, Donald Trump's former national security advisor, was paid more than $33,750 by Russia's state-run broadcaster, RT-TV Russia, for a speech in Moscow in December 2015. This from the top Democrat, Representative Cummings on the House Oversight Committee. The U.S. intelligence community has long assessed that RT is a propaganda tool of the Kremlin, writing in its January report on Russian interference in the U.S. election that the organization had participated in disinformation campaigns aimed at the U.S. Flynn had previously acknowledged the speaking engagement, telling multiple news outlets in July and August of last year that he received money for the speech in Moscow in December of 2015, but he declined to state the amount, saying, and this is key, that the source of the funds was actually his U.S. Speakers Bureau, not the Russian broadcaster, which, as we mentioned, U.S. intelligence agencies describe as an instrument of the Russian government. So Wolf, a couple key issues here. One, as a legal matter, if General Flynn, and you remember he was the former director of the Defense Intelligence Agency, in light of that position and being a former military officer, one, has to report that he received income from any foreign entity and that it came from a foreign entity. What appears to be the case here is that in his public comments he has said, oh no, I was paid by my Speaker's Bureau, but we now know from these documents obtained by the House Oversight Committee that in fact the money came from Russia, Russia's state TV broadcaster RT. We asked General Flynn's spokesman for comment on this. It said that he reported the speech to the DIA. I asked specifically, did he report this money coming from Russia, from this Russian state broadcaster, and they had no contact. They had no comment. This will be a legal issue if he did not report that income on a security clearance form. It also is an administrative issue for the Army if he did not report this to the Army. Not a legal issue for them, not a violation of the law, but it would violate their guidelines for retired military officers. Those are open questions now. We are waiting for comment, and this is one thing that Elijah Cummings is seeking. He's saying, did you report this income? We don't have an answer to that question.
And that's Channel 2 Headline News for this Thursday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 Headline News on Facebook, YouTube, and SafeTVGuyana.com. You can also tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 for a rebroadcast, and Friday evening at 6 o'clock for more news. For now, I'm George Gonzalez, signing out from this newscast. Thank you for welcoming us into your homes, and do have a blessed evening.